back to Goodie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and I post 2 videos a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 AM. So if you love a recipe video like this one and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to share with you how to make my delicious slow cooker shredded masala chicken with Bombay rice. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make my delicious slow cooker shredded masala chicken with Bombay rice. Now this recipe is really easy to do and it is also super tasty as well. My husband, son and I love a curry, but occasionally I like to change things up and I like to make something different from a meal that we've already had. And this was an idea I had simply by standing by the fridge and opening the doors and looking in. I thought of this when I was looking for a meal inspiration for my menu that I write each week, and this was one that came into my head. I tried it, we all loved it, it's really delicious and it's really easy, as I've said, and so I thought we'd have it for dinner tomorrow night. I'm actually preparing it the day before. I'm going to store it in the fridge and then I'm going to cook it all off tomorrow. So I thought I'd show you what I do while I do it. So here is my delicious slow cooker shredded masala chicken with Bombay rice. To start this process, I have 2 chicken legs that I am going to put into this glass bowl like so. Just going to throw that out. And to that I'm going to add 200 ml of coconut cream like so. And then I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon as well. Just half a teaspoon there, and I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of garam masala. I think there's about a teaspoon left in this jar, so I'm just going to add the rest of that in there. And I'm also going to add a teaspoon of dried mixed herbs as well to the mix. I'm going to put the lid back on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to mix round all of these ingredients. I have actually forgotten my salt and pepper, so I will go and get that in a moment. But what I'm going to do is just make sure that the chicken legs are covered in the marinade, I suppose you call it, like the coconut cream and spices and herbs. I'm just going to get some salt and pepper, I won't be a moment. I've got my salt and pepper, so I'm just going to add about half a teaspoon of salt to that. And I'm also going to add about a quarter teaspoon of pepper. I normally feed this to my son and he doesn't like it too peppery. He doesn't mind a little bit, but he doesn't like it too peppery, so that's why I don't put too much in. So what I like to say is salt and pepper to your taste. Also, if you can't get chicken legs, then you can always use chicken breasts instead if you wanted to. So I'm just going to mix all of these ingredients round like so, and I'll go and wash my hands, and once I've washed my hands I should put this in the fridge overnight. The chicken legs have been marinating overnight in the fridge, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to put them into the slow cooker with the sauce as well. Now if you haven't got a slow cooker, then you can always cook these off in the oven. You can put them into a baking tray for about 25 to 30 minutes or until the juices run clear on a preheated oven about 180 degrees. I think that's gas mark 4. But I really like cooking them in the slow cooker. It gives the house a really delicious smell that I'm quite fortunate to be able to smell all day as well. So I'm going to cook these in the slow cooker now for about 6 hours on low. But if you wanted it quicker than that, you could do this on high for 3 hours. So yep, I'm just going to set the slow cooker up now. So I'm just going to switch it on, put it on low and let these cook away. The chicken has been cooking for a good 6 hours now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it off and I'm going to leave it to cool. While the chicken is cooling, while I've left it to rest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my rice. So I'm going to I've put a large pan onto a high heat and I'm going to add oil to the base of that pan, just a little bit, enough to cover it. And I'm going to leave the pan to heat up now. The pan is getting nice and hot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 onion to the base of that pan. So I have peeled, sliced and diced a whole onion, and I'm just going to put that into the base of the pan like so. And I'm going to fry this until it starts to soften, or kind of goes clear, like clear, translucent is what you want. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to fry this onion now. So the onion has started to soften, so I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit because it's getting a bit too hot in the pan. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 1 courgette that I have peeled and grated. So I'm going to add that to the base of my pan. And I'm going to fry this with the onion for a further few minutes. Because the courgette is already quite soft, you don't really want it to soften. You just want to be able to mix it in with the onion and just brown it off a little if you can as well. The courgette and the onion are getting a little bit stuck to the base of that pan, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water to the base of the pan, and hopefully that will unstick everything and help to cook the courgette as well. So I'm just going to continue to cook the courgette for a couple of minutes now. The courgette has started to brown a little, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of mild chili powder. So I'm going to add my spices for the Bombay rice now, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground coriander. And I've also got a teaspoon of ground cinnamon as well that I'm going to add, like so. And I'm going to add some ground ginger to that as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ground ginger, so it's not too spicy. We like spice in this house, but we don't like a lot, I have to say. And I'm also going to add about ½ a teaspoon of ground cinnamon as well, just to give it a little bit of sweetness. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of mixed herbs, dried mixed herbs as well. And I'm going to fry those into the courgettes and the onions for about 20 to 30 seconds or so. You just want to bring out the essential oils. So by heating the herbs and spices, you bring out the essential oils in the food. And that's the best bit for you, is the oil in the food. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my rice to that. So what I've done for my rice is I have washed it through this colander over the sink and under the tap. And the reason I do that is because I'm not going to basically get rid of any of the stock that I'm going to use. I'm going to boil it all into the rice, and this cooks the rice really well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry the rice for about a minute or so until this starts to become see-through and clear. So my rice has started to become see-through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in about 600 mils of stock. Now I have made this rice as though it serves Howard, Ted and myself. So I've got 2 adult sized portions and a little one. So I've done about 175 grams of rice. In the original recipe I said it serves 4, so I've done 300 grams, and I have used 600 mils of rice in that as well. You may need a little bit more, you may need a little bit less. But what I like to do is I like to cover the rice in the stock, and then I like to have about 2 centimetres of stock above the top of the rice. So you can measure it with your middle finger. The middle finger will is about 2 centimetres, so I like to put the spoon in like so, and then from the line of the middle finger up to the top is about 2 centimetres. So that is perfect. There is a perfect amount of liquid in that saucepan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to bring this to the boil. The rice has come to the boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the heat down to a medium heat, like so. And I'm going to leave this to simmer until all of the liquid has disappeared from the pan. While the rice is simmering away on the hob, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shred the chicken that we cooked earlier in the slow cooker. So I'm just going to take off the skin from the chicken leg. I did use legs for this recipe, but you could use chicken breasts if you want to. You don't have to use legs. I know people think legs is a bit wasteful, but I do actually use the leg for bone broth. So I always use up the bones from any meat that we have. So to shred this chicken, I'm just going to break a bit off and I'm just going to break it up in between the forks that I have here, like so. So I'm just going to continue to break the chicken up now. The rice has cooked and all of the liquid has disappeared. So the final thing I have to do is I have to add 1 large handful of coriander to the rice. In the original recipe, because there was more rice, I did say 2 large handfuls. So obviously I've halved it because it's for, as I said earlier, my husband, my son and myself. So 2 adults and a little one. And that's the rice done. The chicken is done, so I'm going to serve up now. So I have my bowl here and I'm going to put some rice on one side of the plate, like so. And then I'm just going to add a big lump of chicken, shredded chicken, to the other side. And I'm also going to add some of this sauce from the bottom of the slow cooker because it tastes delicious. So basically that's a bit of the chicken fat and the coconut oil mixed with all of the herbs and spices. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that to the chicken as well. And that is our dinner done. That's how you make my delicious slow cooker shredded masala chicken with Bombay rice, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm off to have this for my dinner this evening and it smells so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.